Welcome to the Coffee and Podcast, where specialty coffee means so much more. We are on a quest to cultivate freedom for victims of human trafficking, all while drinking wicked awesome coffee. I'm your host, Philip Clayman. I'm also the co-founder of Three Tree Coffee in Statesboro, Georgia. Now, I'm really excited for today's episode. Cody, do you know why I'm excited for today's episode?
Why are you excited for today's episode?
I'll tell you why. It's because today is a 3x3x3. And that means we have 3 people that are going to drink 3 coffees in 3 minutes. As always, I have my awesome co-host, Cody Barnes, with us, who's going to help us put all this together. But then we always have a guest on this type of show as well. And I'm very excited to have our guest today, Mr. Shannon Ramsey. Shannon, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so just tell us a little bit about yourself. I'll go and give you a quick introduction. Shannon is the Area Director for Families for Families, which is the largest faith-based child foster placement agency in the state of Georgia. And they're doing some incredible work. So Shannon, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the area director for the Southeast region, and we basically recruit faith-based families and license them to become foster families. And then we have a pretty robust support system that we build around those families to take care of them while they're fostering those children.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Sweet. Well, so, for us at this podcast, it's called Coffee and because specialty coffee means more to us. It's about ending human trafficking and using coffee for a purpose. Why does coffee mean more to you?
Well, coffee is, it means a lot to me. Just it brings about relationship for me. For me, when I enjoy my coffee the most is first thing in the morning during my devotional time with the Lord. And so it's a big part of that. Also, I love having coffee with people to just build relationships and strengthen those. Yeah. So relationships are a big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's amazing how everyone can build connections around this drink, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's kind of almost a ritual, right? It has
this
systematic pulsing that's just nice. It's like, okay, it happens over and over again, and we can build relationships around this drink.
Yes.
I can relate to that. Me and my wife almost every morning drink coffee together before I head out for work for the day, and that's kind of a similar tone. So
yeah, so I've always enjoyed coffee, and it's been an experience for me.
Nice. Well, I hear that you're a self-proclaimed coffee snob. Maybe not self-proclaimed. Maybe other proclaim it for you. But are you a coffee snob?
Let's just say I enjoy coffee. And for me, coffee of choice, I do a French press every morning, every now and then AeroPress or pour over. But French press has been a big part of that. And there was a time in my life, Philip, my wife and I served overseas for about a decade. And there was a time in my life I had a French press on 2 different continents in about 6 different cities. So I always had one wherever I was going. All I had to do was carry the coffee. So,
man,
it was great.
Goals. Right? No matter where you go, the coffee's ready.
Yes.
That's awesome. Sweet. We'll love it. Really appreciate you being on the show today. So as I mentioned, we're drinking 3 coffees in 3 minutes. Now let's introduce our coffees and the theme for this podcast today. Today's theme for all of our coffees is they're all experimental processed coffees. You may have heard on a previous episode us talk about natural processed coffees. Processing is basically what happens at the farm level to get the coffee out of the cherry and to us, the roaster, or to other roasters to then be roasted and brewed. And there's many different paths that can take. And experimental processing is kind of a catch-all for some really wild and funky ways to process coffees. It's actually so wild and unique that it creates kind of an issue in the coffee industry. There's some people that think it's almost too aggressively flavoring the coffee at the farm level, and is that you really tasting the natural flavors of the coffee? Regardless, they're fun, and we have some pretty incredible coffees here on the table today. So let's introduce them. First off, we have a Finca El Roble coffee from Corvus Coffee Roasters. What's unique about this one is that it uses a carbonic maceration processing method. And what that means is that all the beans are put into a tank where they remove all the oxygen. So it's an anaerobic process. They remove the oxygen, but they don't just stop there. They actually inject that area with carbon gas, and it creates a very unique environment for these bacteria and cultures to grow and create some pretty unique flavors. So that's one of the first ones we're going to be having today. Another one we're going to be having is this one right here from Black and White Coffee Roasters, Brian Alviar. And this one goes through 3 fermentation processes 3 separate fermentation processes. But the last one is the cherries are actually dried with strawberries. Strawberries are with the cherries as they're drying at the farm level. I imagine we'll taste some strawberry on that one, but we'll see. And then lastly, we've got a coffee from Brandywine Coffee Roasters. Elkin Guzman is a world-renowned coffee farmer. Fantastic products coming from his farm. And this is called a washed pink champagne. And basically what's happening here is there's a fermentation where just lots of different fruits and spices are dried with the coffee cherries. So as you can see, all of them have some sort of flavoring element at the farm level that just creates wild and unique situations, hence why they're all called experimental processes. Without further ado, I think it's time for us to start tasting some coffees.
Absolutely.
So Cody, are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
All right.
Here's the first one.
Okay. We're setting all the coffees out. We're going to have a timer for 3 minutes, and each coffee is going to get 1 minute of us drinking it and sipping it. All right, we're going to start with this one on my right as coffee number 1. Timer ready. Awesome. And here we go. Take a little bit, put it in your cup, give it a sip. See what you think. It's pretty good. It's got some nice flavor.
Got some acidity to it.
Yeah.
It's got some acidity. It's got some fruitiness to it. It's not as punch in the face as I was honestly expecting from an experimental process.
Yeah.
That's a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
But subtle, nice. Got some fruits to it. A little bit of acidity to it. And I would say almost like a medley of fruits.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's got a little bit of just a few different things going on there.
yeah, there's a lot of different things going on. Oh, okay, that's it for the first coffee. We need to move on to coffee number 2 in the middle. Help yourself. Oh, that's different. To a reminder of our listeners at home, we don't know which coffee is which.
Yeah. That's got.
Boy, that is some interesting. That's interesting. Oh man, very sweet. Really good acidity. Acidity in coffee is a really good thing. But you also want it to be balanced, and it's balanced with a lot of good sweetness here.
Yeah. You kind of get the both and. It helps out.
Vibrant, good,
Yeah.
sweet, acidic, fruits, florals. I think this one has some more florals to it than the other one did, and really good. Okay, and that's it for coffee number 2. Lastly, coffee number 3, last minute after you, Shannon. All right. Whoa.
It has a little bit more acidity in it.
Yeah, it's got some acidity. That's also got some pretty intense sweetness, I feel like. It's reminding me of like some caramels, which once again, not expected.
No. Yeah.
But fruits as well.
This one to me just says strawberry.
You're getting strawberries out of this?
Strawberries on that one.
Man. If it, I can see the strawberries, but for me, it's more like a PB&J with a lot of PB.
Yeah, a lot of PB.
Good PB.
All right.
Wow. Okay. That's good. Oh, and that is time. That's it. Drop your spoons.
Okay.
All right. So, interesting. Okay. They were unique and they were different for sure. We're now going to choose our favorite. All right. So we're going to count down from 3 and say point. When I say point, you point to which coffee was your favorite, and then we'll reveal which one's which. Y'all ready? All right. 3, 2, 1, point.
Wow.
Wow. We all chose coffee number 2, which with the great reveal is Corvus Coffee's carbonic maceration coffee from Finca El Roble. Really nice.
Yes.
Good. Just the most balanced, very complex, but good flavors. What were you gonna say?
No, I was the same thing. It's just balanced because you get that floral and fruitiness going on, but you still have that coffee acidity to kind of balance it all out and make for a good cup.
Absolutely. Yep, super good. All right, well, let's go on to coffee number 3 that Cody is thinking maybe was the strawberry coffee. Let's find out. Brandy wine.
Oh, wow.
It was not the strawberry coffee.
Yeah.
That was the Elkin Guzman champagne, which means coffee number 1 was the strawberry coffee from Black and White. And I got to try that one more time. I was expecting there to be some pretty strong strawberry coming through. And I thought I tasted it on the front end, but not enough to confidently say it, at least on camera. So kudos to you, Cody.
Yeah.
I mean, with the brandy wine, there's still there's strawberry in the
tasting notes. There you go. And it's a mixture of fruit and spices with the brandy wine, so you're still going to get some good fruit flavors. So, anyways, fascinating, a super fun cupping of experimental processed coffees. Shannon, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Hey, thank you for having me. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Cody, as always, thank you for being the co-host.
Of course.
And we appreciate you tuning in, and we will catch you next time.